On the news this evening, a Mewule-led assembly declares seats of Pro-Fubara lawmakers vacant. Rivers Commissioner says disputing 2024 budget a waste of time. Chief Judge pardons inmate at Port Harcourt Correctional Facility. Senate asks Libya to apologize to Nigeria over ill treatment of Super Eagles. On the foreign scene, early voting begins in crucial U.S. swing state of Georgia. I am Kalada Kurubatibo. Peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. We'll go for a quick commercial. When we do come back, the news in detail. A Mewule-led Rivers State House of Assembly has declared the seats of the Chief of Staff to Governor Siminalayi Fubara Edison Eye and 3 other lawmakers vacant following their absence from sittings for 152 days. The Speaker, Martin Amaewhule, made this known during their plenary today. He said Mr. Eye did not properly write to inform the House of his new office, and as such, his seat has been declared vacant. The House also held 3 separate votes to declare the seats of Victor Okojumbo and 2 others vacant for being absent without notification or permission in violation of the 1999 Constitution. It also said it will write to the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to conduct elections to replace the now vacant seats within 90 days to provide representation for their people. In a related development, the Rivers State Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning, Peter Mede, says anyone contesting the 2024 budget passed into law by the Victor Okojumbo-led Rivers State House of Assembly is wasting both time and money. His comments come despite a federal high court ruling which annulled the 800 billion naira budget passed by 5 members of the Rivers State House of Assembly led by Edison Eye. Dr. Mede, who spoke on Nigeria Info FM's Morning Crossfire, said the 2024 budget has already been enacted into law.
So I think they are wasting their effort and their time by targeting the budget. The budget of Rivers State is sacrosanct. It has been passed into law. And so no other law in this country, not even the Supreme Court, can nullify a law that the governor has signed into law. And so they are wasting their time. We are not concerned about them. They are in dreamland. What we are doing now is to continue to do our 2025 budget because we are finished with 2024. What we are doing with 2024 now is to implement it and deliver value to Rivers people.
Dr. Mede said the 2025 appropriation bill will be higher than the 2024 budget as it will create more jobs to combat unemployment and reduce the impact of inflation in the state.
The budget of 2025 is going to be about 2 or 3 or 4 trillion billion naira above 2024 year. So if you add that to what we have in 2024, government is having that robust fund that they will be able to use to deliver dividend to the state in terms of creating more jobs. Because if we deal with the agri sector and create more jobs, we will be able to deal with our unemployment. So I can assure you that by the time the appropriation bill of 2025 is passed into law, then we are going to come out with a river state that we will create more jobs.
The Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning also said that the auto-destruct syringe factory at Rumusi Shongai Farm and other farms inherited by the current administration have ownership issues that need to be resolved.
When you talk about the steel industry was what the previous administration put in, and there are some conditions under which those industries were put in, either PPP or build, own and operate, or build, operate and transfer. Some of those ownership structures need to be dealt with by government, and that's why it looks as if it is slow, but His Excellency is actually not slow. He's going down to earth to deal with those problems. The Songhai farm and all those farm has ownership structure that needs to be dealt with.
In the meantime, a public health professional, Andy Akpotive, has raised concern about the level of vandalism at the auto destruct syringe factory at Rumuosi in Port Harcourt. Mr. Akpotive, in an interview with correspondent Martha Okere, said it is important for Rivers State to have a syringe factory that is operational, as it ensures the supply of essential medical commodities. He also said the syringe factory, if well established, will take people away from the street and support economic growth.
Syringe factories drive innovation, developing new products and technologies that improve patient care. This over time can be added value chain that can increase the IGRO of Rivers State. Syringe factories create jobs, and this one, if and well established, will take a lot of people from the street and contribute to our local and microeconomy here in the state, supporting economic growth. The labor that you even require for a syringe company is not one that is highly technical. So you can find a lot of it in Rivers State, and you take these people out of the street.
Ms. Akpotive also said a reliable supply of syringes enables rapid response to disease outbreaks and public health emergencies.
A syringe manufacturing company ensures public health preparedness. A reliable supply of syringes from factory is critical for public health preparedness, enabling rapid response to outbreaks, pandemic and natural disaster. Imagine if there was natural disaster that is requiring us to use and to give a lot of medication using syringes, and we are importing. We do not have a source of manufacturing. Guess what will happen? Syringe manufacturing company brings about reliability and consistency in the healthcare ecosystem.
I recall that the auto destruct syringe factory was set up by the administration of former Governor Peter Ardley and began production in 2009. It was later expanded by the state government under former Governor Chibuike Amechi to hit a target of producing 1.3 billion syringes per year. In 2018, the State Executive Council approved the setting up of a judicial commission of inquiry to investigate the alleged 36 billion naira fraud spent by the Chibuike Amechi administration on the factory. Away from that, a magistrate court in Port Harcourt has set aside and nullified a committee constituted by the paramount ruler of Rumuosi town, Eze Simeon Wokuma, to investigate, probe, or take any action whatsoever against the acting chairman of Rumuosi Town Council, Osiwosu. A court document cited by a correspondent showed Senior Magistrate S.S. Ibanichulu giving the order yesterday. The magistrate also said the constitution of the committee by the paramount ruler of Rumuosi town, Eze Simeon Wokuma, for purposes of investigating, probing, or taking any action whatsoever against the acting chairman of Rumuosi Town Council, Osiwosu, was done in disobedience to two previous court rulings in August and September. The court also urged the parties should maintain the status quo pending the hearing and determination of all pending applications before the court. This case was then adjourned to the 29th of October. In another development, the Chief Judge of Rivers State, Justice Simeon Amadi, has granted pardon to 6 inmates from the Port Harcourt Maximum Correctional Center. It is part of activities to mark the opening of the 2024-2025 legal year of the state judiciary. Justice Amadi, while conducting the goal delivery, urged the critical stakeholders in the judiciary system, including the Correctional Center and the Nigeria Police, to collaborate in ensuring that those inmates that deserve pardon can get it seamlessly.
This exercise and the previous ones have drastically reduced the total number of inmates awaiting trial from over 4,000 to less than 2,000 awaiting trial inmates as we have today. As we release deserving individuals, we affirm our dedication to justice, compassion, and the rule of law. Let us work together to build a society that supports rehabilitation and second chance to anyone or group of people who have fallen foul of the law and are being punished accordingly.
Justice Amadi said the National Judicial Council should encourage judges to pay more attention to criminal matters to enable them to decongest correctional facilities. He also encouraged the released inmates to return to their family and become better citizens.
As we embark on this goal delivery exercise, let us not forget the fundamental principles of our justice delivery system, which includes fairness, integrity, and equality before the law. While we show empathy and compassion during this exercise, this does not in any way absolve individuals from being accountable for the actions against individuals, corporate organizations, and the state where the law frowns out.
The outgoing state comptroller of Nigerian Correctional Center Port Harcourt, Felix Lawrence, also spoke.
The goal delivery exercise, which your lordship have continued regularly in spite of your tight schedule, have significantly impacted on the negative inmate population explosion in this maximum security custodial center, Port Harcourt, which has over 4,000 inmates when my lords resume office. And presently, we have a manageable number below 2,700 inmates. This has significantly impacted on health and infrastructural management.
Correspondent Soibi Oruwari reports that the Chief Judge of Rivers State paused the exercise midway, stepping down the lease from the Port Harcourt Correctional Center. This decision was made to allow the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, and the officer in charge of legal at the Rivers State Police Command to review case files, as the majority of those scheduled to benefit from the exercise are facing murder charges. The exercise was adjourned to December. We'll go for another commercial, but still to come, Senate asked Libya to apologize to the Nigerian government. To stay tuned. Welcome back now to the rest of the newscast. The Lagos State High Court has ordered controversial social media user Martin Otse, popularly known as Very Dark Man, to remove defamatory comments and videos concerning lawyer and human rights activist Femi Falana and his son Folarin, popularly called Falz. Justice M.O. Idowu delivered the ruling today. He said the publications made by Very Dark Man on his social media account on September the 24th, 2024, linking controversial crossdresser Bobrisky to singer Falz and his father, were defamatory and can affect a public image. He said Very Dark Man knew Bobrisky's claims were false and untrue, but proceeded to publish them to injure their reputation. In other news, a group known as the Nigerian Intellectual Forum (NIF) is asking critical stakeholders to demand a pre-election audit of all facilities, including the bimodal voter accreditation system (BVAS) before the next general elections. One of the representatives of the group, Soala Jumbo, made us known at a roundtable meeting with some civil society organizations in Rivers State. He claims that a critical component of the BVAS was allegedly deactivated during the last elections.
That's the most common feature. There is a second feature which requires the presiding officer to take a photograph of the results after the election must have concluded in each polling unit. There's a third feature which many Nigerians are not aware of, which is the ability of the BVAS machine to actually transmit directly from the BVAS the number of cards that passed through that machine on that day. The number of persons that were actually accredited in the election on that day can be transmitted to IREV.
Our correspondent reports that during the meeting, participants called for strengthening of the legal frameworks governing electoral processes. They said essential aspects of election management and results reporting should not be left to the discretion of the Independent National Election or Electoral Commission (INEC) alone. The chairman of Eche local government area, Uzodinma Nwafo, has approved the appointment of new aides. Dr. Nwafo in a statement said Jude C. Njoko is now Chief of Staff. Chinedu Onyeche is Acting Chief Security Advisor. Ben Chucks Okere as Executive Assistant. Philip Amadi as Personal Assistant. Prince Oke Inodim as Chief Protocol 1. Obina Njoko Revenue Chairman. Chukwemeka Njoko as Revenue Secretary, and Emmanuel Okogba as Senior Special Assistant on Special Duties. Others are Dr. Martina Wayawu as Chairman of the Legal Team and Samuel Weke as Secretary. Friday Wankwo was appointed as Special Assistant on Legal Matters, and Inaji Endurance for Youth Affairs. Olor Robinson is appointed as Chief Press Secretary. In sports, the Senate today asked Libya to apologize to the Nigerian government over the ill treatment it meted out to Nigeria's senior football men's team, Super Eagles, on Monday. This was after the president of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, condemned the act while also demanding a probe and penalization of Libya over the matter. We'll go for another commercial. When we do come back, we'll take a look at the international scene.
We, the
Welcome back. Now taking a look at the international scene. Early in-person voting has started in Georgia, one of the 7 key states in the U.S. election. Georgia is one of the country's largest proportions of black voters who are believed to have helped President Joe Biden win the state by about 12,000 votes in 2020. It is also the state where Republican candidate Donald Trump and some 18 other defendants are accused of criminally conspiring to overturn his defeat in 2020. Now a quick recap. On the news this evening, you heard the Martin Amaewhule-led assembly has declared the seats of pro-Fubara lawmakers vacant. Rivers State Commissioner for Budget says contesting the 2024 budget is a waste of time. The Rivers State Chief Judge has granted 6 pardons to inmates at Port Harcourt Correctional Facility. The Senate has asked Libya to apologize to the Nigerian government. On the foreign scene, early voting has started in crucial U.S. swing state of Georgia. The news was detailed by Martha Okere. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I am Kalada Kurubatubo. Good evening, do stay tuned.
On your number 1 talk station,